What is the one of the best anecdotes you have?
Okay, so I mean, there's so many. There's so many. And so we're working with the architect John Pawson. John Pawson is based in the UK. He's very slick and clean and pure. And I said, John, can you please create a chandelier? He's like, let me think about it. So John came up with a lens. So this lens that he created ended up being the biggest lens Swarovski has ever created. It was basically like this glass dish. And of course, they had to make a few of them that didn't have a bubble in it or a scratch on it. And then if you make glass in that size, it takes maybe a month or two to cool down because glass is made of melted sand, quartz sand.
Okay.
And so they first have to let it cool down and it takes a long time and then they polish it. So it's a really tedious process. But what was wonderful to see is how John interacted with these Tyrolean glass cutters. You know, John doesn't speak German. You know, some of them don't speak English, but they come together and they talk like this, you know, sign language, and they both appreciate and respect each other so much. Then that glass lens had to sit on a metal structure, so the metal structure was made in Italy. So then we get the Italian language on board. And then we installed this lens in St. Paul's Cathedral in London, and it was amazing to see. So the Italian guys came with their metal piece, the Tyrolean guys came with their crystal, and John Pawson was there. And of course, I was there. And when they put that, so they first unpacked the big lens, the metal piece inside this cantilever staircase, which again was an architectural feat. You know, it's just basically the stair is
Going
built.
up.
Yeah, amazing. There was a pattern on the floor which was made of marble and it was a black and white star. So they put it in the center of this black and white star. And then out comes the metal and then they put the lens there. And this is the first time that they all actually met each other and the first time the crystal meets the metal as well. Then there was silence and these men were crying. I
What?
mean, tears coming because it was so beautiful. It was so amazing. It was such an impact. And what happened, if you looked into the lens, you saw the entire ceiling. And to see these men working and communicating with each other for months, suddenly coming together in London, suddenly seeing the vision turning into reality, and suddenly having this totally emotional impact was amazing.
Wow.
And then after we had that piece there, we actually took it to San Giorgio di Maggiore in Venice, and we installed it again in the center of the cathedral. And all the priests came, and I said to the priest, and they were just so excited because as you looked down, you saw everything above. And there was such a spirituality about this. As you look down into your soul, you suddenly see the heavens, you know? So such a humble connotation. But in any case, I said to the priest, isn't this magical? And he said, no, Nadia, non è magicale, eso è spirituale.
Wow.
You know, and he said, this is spiritual. And when you know that the product that you're creating is really having such an impact on the soul, that's amazing.